Ah, dang it. Okay, give me a sec. You know, usually if it's like the first time it happens, it's like, okay, whatever, it happens. But when you do something twice, it gets really frustrating really quick. We good? I think we're good. I think we're good. I think that saved me. Yeah, that saved me. I took a chunk out of that. This corner is very sharp. Be careful. I'll see you in a second. Okay, there we go. I think we're good. There we go. That hurt. That hurt. That is the second time, moments before going live, I've managed to... Oh, I should pick this up off the floor right in front of a printer where the door is open and took a chunk out of my head. This time, no blood, though, so we got that going for us, which is nice. How's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? It's Friday. It's Friday. We've got, this stream will either be very quick with a lot of yapping, or it's gonna be very frustrating. Because we're trying to solve a problem. And the problem is I'm not on the right camera. The problem is this. The SIBOOR Trident. I like the SIBOOR Trident. It was a very good build. It went together very well. I don't think we had any major issues until I actually started trying to use it for what it's for. I haven't been able to get a full duration ABS print out of this machine since I got it. Now granted, there was a period where I wasn't using it, or it prints PLA fine, but you want to know what kills the machine? This is what ruins the machine. I can't print ABS. I can't print enclosed. I can print enclosed for a bit, but this is what happens. This is what happens. Let's see. Well, is my overhead camera working? Is my overhead camera working? I have a whole garbage bin of this stuff. I've got, because what happens is about half hour, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour into the print, it just starts under extruding. It just starts under, oh great, hey, we're still green. It just starts under extruding. It just, and the thing is, you're like, oh, okay, well, it's grinding the filament. It's not. It's not. You pull the filament out, and it's clean. Like it's almost like it's pushing it, and then it goes from like pushing to just kind of like, it's got no balls. It loses its torque. So, well, okay, it's something's not right. It's overheating. Okay, play around with motor voltages. The problem is, this is one of those things, you can only test it a couple times because you don't find out it has a problem until like an hour in. So it's like, change one setting, start a print. Okay, everything looked good. Come back in half an hour. Okay, everything looks good. Go out, do some errands or whatever, come back, it's been printing in the air for like the past 3 hours. Heat creep, I don't think it's heat creep. I don't think it's heat creep, but that is one of the things we're gonna try. I may swap out the fan, but the thing is, I don't think it's heat creep because I don't have any other machines that have this style of setup where it's just a rapido and a stealth burner. I have other machines with the exact same setup and chambers that are hitting near the same temperature, and I'm not having heat creep issues with them. So I don't think it's heat creep, because if something was jamming at the nozzle, I would see burn-in. You know, filament. When the filament stalls coming out, you get grind marks on the filament, right? You get that like bald spot. I'm not getting that. It's not failing that way. I pull the filament out and it's fine. SIBOOR motor. That's the first thing we're gonna do. So what I have done, I've already tried some stuff on my end. I'll get the machine over here in a second, and we'll start taking stuff apart. But before we get into that, we got the usual pre-stream stuff. I'm thirsty. Go buy some gamer subs. Use code Canuck. Save 10% off your order. I also have printed parts and whatnot, so we'll go through that. But firstly, do you want to win some filament? Do you want to win some filament from Polymaker? Of course you do. Link in the video description. Enter for your chance. Every stream we give away a spool of Polymaker filament. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're watching this in the future, what'd you have for breakfast today? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to help support the channel, content I create, things I do, check out those links in the description. Again, some of them affiliate links, don't cost you anything extra. Go a long way in supporting the channel. Or if you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, you gift memberships to others. That's what the cool people do. And then I think that's about it for that stuff. So we'll do a little bit of recapping. I've been playing with UForge. I actually kind of figured out how to use UForge. I would show you on this camera, but actually this kind of works. The green tint kind of works on this camera. I think I figured it out. I think I'm finally grasping how to use UForge. So this was an image I downloaded, just a regular image, and I went through the whole process. This was a pre-made project that you just kind of pick the colors. And then this was, what I found is if you're playing with HueForge for the first time, start with images that are very high contrast. Your SIBOOR 2.4 just started doing the same thing. You're not the only one that I've heard this from. This is why, are you ready, kids? This is why you can't trust a printer review done in 2 weeks. How long have I had this built for? There's a reason I haven't done a video on it yet. But images that are high contrast. So just for fun, I pulled this up. Let me pull it up. So I've been playing the hell out of Baldur's Gate 3 lately, I'm sorry. But this is a screenshot from one of my more recent playthroughs. Totally went evil. But I took the screenshot and I made a HueForge out of it. Because I wanted to see how the text would come out. I wanted something with like some pretty good contrasting. There's it not green tinted. So obviously it's kind of, you know, it's an artistic representation of the image. But the scales actually came out really good. The scales in the character and the armor actually came out pretty good, I would say. So yeah, I'm actually having fun with the HueForge. The astronaut came out really good. This one I liked. And you get, I don't know if it shows across on the camera. You get a really cool depth because it's not a flat image. There is texture to it. So when you look at it, you get it. It's almost like you're looking in. It's kind of like the difference when when you go to a 3D movie, like an actual proper 3D movie. It's not that stuff pops out of the cinema. It's not like everything pops out. Yeah, you have stuff pop out, but it's more you get depth. And I think with HueForges, you get that depth. You get the depth to it if you do it right. So I've been having fun with the HueForge. So that'll be, I don't know if it'll get its own video. I'm really bad at videos. I know I say that a lot. I'm really bad at videos. I gotta work on that. But I might just make it a part of a video I want to do on multi-material stuff. Mine only just started doing, it's been fine for 6 months. Okay. Software is pretty standard, mostly just cover the issues caused by low quality hardware may not present them. That's the problem. And like also PSA, I will not be reviewing anything from QUADXY or promoting any of their products going forward unless the company has some pretty drastic changes in the way they handle things. And for those that don't know, their recent printer that came out, the X Plus 4, the solid state relay or relay, whatever that controls the chamber heater, is incorrectly spec'd. It's getting to like 200 degrees Celsius. Grant has videos on it at his channel. And QUADXY, instead of realizing, hey, maybe we shouldn't ship products, because this isn't the first time. Their previous printer also had an issue with the chamber heater where basically if you touched it, you could get electrified. Yes, there's a little plastic grill in front of it, but the thing shouldn't be electrified to begin with. But anyways, instead of doing the proper thing that a company would do and not release products with safety faults in it and do your own freaking protections and testing in-house before releasing it, they decided to send an email out to their customers shitting on Grant for checking to make sure their machines weren't faulty fire hazards. So yeah, going forward, I will not be promoting or really doing anything with QUADXY unless they do a drastic change in the way they operate as a business. I personally, as a reviewer, I don't trust them to send me a printer that won't burn my house down. Simple as that. I don't trust their products now, especially a first revision product, because now they're 2 for 2. So yeah, don't send me something that I'm not an electrical engineer. Like, I know how to use a multimeter, but I don't know the ins and outs of testing everything of a machine to make sure it's not a fire hazard. I know the basics, but not all the in-depth stuff. So yeah, I currently don't trust them to send me a machine, a pre-production machine, that's not a fire hazard. So I won't be touching them at all going forward. And then personally, I hope other reviewers take the same stance. We need to stop letting companies ship shitty products to customers and just saying, oh, we'll send you fixes later, or we'll revise it for future buyers, or hey, you guys are 3D printer people, you're makers, you could fix it yourself. Keep buying our shitty product, because you fixing it just incentivizes us to not release good product. So yeah, this needs to be like a change in our little bubble of our industry. We got to stop letting companies get away with that shit. Creal and FL Sun. Have you seen me do anything with an FL Sun anytime lately? Have you seen me do anything with a Creality lately? Although I will say the K1C, they sent me a K1C. Issues with firmware that I flashed the full clipper and it's fine. And I've heard some pretty okay things about the K2. So for some reason, Creality's not on my naughty list right now. They're just kind of dropping the ball in some QC, but at least nothing burn your house down related, as far as I know, at least. If they start doing stuff where it's like, yeah, you risk burning somebody's house down, yeah, then we're gonna have a reckoning. I like my K1C. Yeah, I like my K1C too. I don't use it that much because why would I? But I had no issues with it. It's actually hooked up downstairs. I could use it. I just haven't needed to. Although, let's be honest, if I can't get this thing working, I might be using it. What timeline is this? You know what it is? It's a timeline where Creality realized they can't just shit out V-wheel bed flingers till the end of time, and they actually have to step up. And they're kind of doing it. I've heard good things about the K2. I don't have one. They haven't reached out to me. I don't reach out to companies for products to review that often, so I don't think I'll get one. But if they want to send me one, I'll take a look at it. I've heard good things. Sam Prentice has a video on it, so yeah, go watch that. Did you reply to Bamboo about the A1? No, because I'll be honest, I don't want an A1. What am I going to do with an A1? Just, here's the thing. Are you ready? This is going to be shocking. I think the A1's a fine machine. If they sent me one, I would go, cool. I'm probably not going to use this a lot, but it's a fine machine. I'm already saying it's a fine machine. Enough people that I trust their opinion have told me the Bamboo A1 is a perfectly usable, fine machine. I personally have some qualms with the way Bamboo operates as a business and some of their business stances in regards to open source and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's a fine printer. And if you don't care about, if 3D printing is your hobby, not 3D printers, it's a perfectly fine machine. Go buy one. If you're okay with an open air PLA PETG machine that can do TPU. Like, I don't like the fact I had a comment on a video today. On the video, I have a video on my channel on how to do the Hydra mod for Bamboo, for the AMS on the full size AMS, how to do the Hydra mod. I had somebody leave a comment on a video today. They're like, oh, hey, I'm interested in getting this for my A1. Is this compatible? And I'm like, no, you can't use the full size AMS because they're like, oh, I live in an area with humidity. So I want to use the AMS that's enclosed to keep my filament dry while I use it on my A1. And I'm like, nope, you can't do that. Bamboo designed it so you can't, there's no cross compatibility between the AMS and the AMS Lite. So if you buy an A1 with the AMS Lite and you upgrade and you buy a P1S, you can't just carry the AMS over. You have to buy a whole new AMS that only works with the P1 now, or the X1. That's the kind of business stuff I don't like Bamboo doing. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the A1 is still a fine printer. So, yeah. Yeah, I actually had that comment on a video today. Okay, so turn you off. There's a mod for the AMS Lite that kind of enclosed. That's the thing though, it's a mod. You can just buy the full-size AMS and it's ready to go out of the box. And it's probably more compact than an AMS Lite in a box. Gonna make a box turtle? I will. LDO will be sending me a kit, but I won't be building one until the production kits come out. I won't be building a beta kit. I'm waiting on a production kit. Yeah. And then what else? There was something else. Oh, also, hi, I'm a Canadian. This is a 3D printer channel. We're gonna get political. If you're buying any printer from China, do it soon. If you live in the US. Because if what the incoming president has said he will do, if he does it, pretty much every China printer is going to go up 60%. For those that don't know what a tariff is, it's something that you're going to pay. If I sell screwdrivers, this screwdriver is $500, but I could buy this screwdriver from China for $200. Most people will buy this one for $200. So the government goes, let's put a tariff on China screwdrivers so that they cost the same as this. That doesn't save you any money. That saves this company, gets to make more money, which, you know, good for their jobs and whatnot. But you as the end user now have to spend $500 on something that you could have got for $200. So Bamboo printers, a P1 will go up to, I think, close to $900 if that goes through. So just be aware that is a thing to keep in mind this holiday season. And isn't it a good thing Prusa moved production to the US? Looks like, hey, we might be seeing the second coming, the resurgence of Lulzbot. Lulzbot might be competitive again. I mean, they won't be competitive on machines. They're basically selling you the same machine from 5 years ago for $1,000. But, you know, the competition will be more money. Doesn't make anything they do better. It just makes everyone else more expensive. So who knows? In the next 4 years, if it does play out, who knows? Like, that's the thing with the guy. You have no idea what's really going to happen. That's great to have as a freaking government policy, is hold on, we don't know what we're going to do yet. But anyways, hey, there might be room in the... There might be a spot now for a domestic 3D printer manufacturer that's actually somewhat competent. Who knows? At least in the US. I'm Canadian, so it's all foreign to me anyways. It's all foreign shit to me anyways. There are no... Oh, sorry. You want to buy a Canadian printer? Buy a Pantheon. This is the only, like, Canadian 3D printer company that I know of that's actually, like, a thing and not, like, some guy in a garage. Buy a Pantheon. Support Canadian businesses. I guarantee you next year they'll be in the US. They'll probably go, oh, if those tariffs go through, they're going to pack everything up, drive 1 hour south, and set up in Seattle. I can see it happening. Okay, is this machine off? Can I move it? Yes, I can move it. Okay. How heavy is this machine? I forgot. I'm going to take the door off. Justin Trudeau is next. Oh, yeah, we know. Any Canadian with a brain knows we're going. But that's how it works in Canada. For those that don't know how Canadian politics works, usually how it works is we vote in a party, and then we don't get rid of them for like 10 or 15 years, and then we vote in the next party. And then we don't get rid of them for like 10 or 15 years. Every now and then, somebody else plays for a little bit in between, but that's just Canadian politics. We flip-flop. We had Harper, conservative government, for like 10 or 15 years, and then we had Trudeau for like 10 or 15 years, and then we're gonna go right back to conservatives. That's just how it is in Canada. Take the door off. I will say I like the clicky-clack door. Wuxin. How is Wuxin doing? The last thing I heard of Wuxin was their CEO kind of started tweeting some stuff, and then I haven't seen anything from Wuxin in a while. Do I have any thoughts on the monolith gantry mod? I don't have it. Here's the thing. It will make it more rigid, but it'll probably make it more heavy. So. What's Bork? The extruder. I spoke about it at the beginning of the stream. The extruder is crapping out. I've already tried a few things. Let me get this on the bench. And yeah. And I'm sure I probably got a comment already in chat about why I'm talking about politics. This is a 3D printing channel. The prices of 3D printers most likely will go up, especially quite a bit from some locations. That is 3D printing talk. And then for those new here, my stream is a show. What we do on the stream, we usually have a gross topic that we cover, but for the most part, it's whatever happens, happens. So it's a 3-hour podcast of me just yapping while occasionally we build a print. And I just broke the screen again. Damn it. I just broke the screen again. Oh, man. So this is the problem with these screens. If you're going to have your screen stick out the front of the printer, have it on a live hinge. Because when you pick up the printer, you just crunch it. Second time I've done it. You can see it. You can see the gloop stains. I've got I'll be fixing it later. Small OLEDs. Honestly, I'm a fan of super. I like the Mini 128s. The Voron Zero screen, the little thing we put on V0s. That's all I want on a printer. I don't need a fancy touch screen. I have a computer right here. I have my phone if I want to pull up the full Clipper interface. This, I just want a basic movement, load, unload, and reprint or cancel print. You don't need a big screen on a printer. I'm not a fan of big touch screens on any printer running Clipper. You don't need it. Okay, I will use you. Okay, so let's start taking stuff off this. You've done that multiple times. I've done it multiple times on this. That's why it's held together with glue. I don't have any screens on my DIY. It's essential for ERCFA. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's going to definitely be a user use case that may, you know, change your opinion on things. It's the beauty of open source machines. If you don't like it that way, change it. It's your machine. Have fun. You're not stuck with what the manufacturer said you're stuck with. But personally, I don't like big screens on printers because I use most of my printers. I run them remotely. And I have a tendency to break the screens off of them. The V0 or the VZBot down here, I took the screen right off of it. I removed the screen from it because I kept bumping into it. It was annoying. So I literally de-screened that printer. Like your Micron headless? Well, the Micron's so small, the screen would be bigger than the print bed. Yep, dropping stuff. This is going to be a problem because I put some VHB on here to stop that from rattling. So hopefully I can take this panel off. It's actually, okay, the VHB is holding the panel on. Okay. For those that don't know, if you need to take VHB off, if something's VHB'd on, don't pull it off, twist it. So. There we go. Yeah, I put a little piece of VHB just to keep the screen, this from rattling. Because when this is on, it's not bad because the fan just kind of constantly pushes it against the panel. But when you're printing ABS and this is off, it just kind of rattles and you hear it, you know, the whole time, and it's annoying. So I just put one little piece of VHB behind it just to kind of hold it in place. I didn't plan on taking the panels off this quick. I'm hoping I can leave the back panel on because I don't want to. They did send me the stuff to redo the wiring for the back panel here with the fans, but I have not done that, so I don't want to take this off because that's a bunch of work, and I don't want to do it today. I just want to get this printer up and running because I got to print stuff for a build, and the problem is, part of reviewing this printer is I need to print a full printer worth of parts on the printer. Push buttons on the skirt. Yeah, push buttons on the skirt is another thing you can do. I've seen a few people do it. It's actually a pretty nice mod, in my opinion. Okay, let's see here. So, unplug you. Okay, and then I think this just comes out, or no, you are screwed in there. Okay, so the plan is, I'm hoping... The plan is I'm going to take the motor off this. I got a different motor. The motor that came with this is a SIBOOR motor. That's all I know. It's a SIBOOR motor. I have an LDO motor here. It's an LDO motor's 36 millimeter pancake. That's all I know. It's this. If somebody wants to look up the specs, there you go. But the plan is I'm going to take some stuff apart, make sure everything is healthy. And then we'll put it back together, put a new motor on it, panel it back up, and then hopefully we're good. So, anyone know why I'm getting wrinkles on the top layer? More top layers, and drop your flow rate. Because depending on how much you're bridging, when you bridge a top layer, the first few layers are going to be wavy because they're not sitting on a flat surface. So the plastic, as it cools, is going to like contract and wrinkle. So you may need to add a couple more top layers to your print, depending on how much infill you have and whatnot. You might be bridging too far. Or you might be, and drop your flow on the top layer. Drop your flow a couple % on the top layer. It's hard to say what exactly the issue is without seeing it, but those are some common fixes or common quick things you can try that may resolve your problem. So 40 months, Maurice, damn. Has it been that long? Why is the top cam yellow? Because it's broken. So, yeah. I accidentally left it on for a weekend and now it's green. The sensor is all burnt out. Which, to be fair, isn't the first time it's happened, unfortunately. So, that screw is gone. Let's see here, so you can come out. Wait, what's going on? Oh wait, I gotta pull you up. Okay. There we go. The joy, I will say, it is nice having the one wire tool head, USB. It's not CAN bus, it's USB, or is it CAN bus? I don't know. It's one or the other. But there you go, tool head disconnected. That part of tool head boards is nice. Twice the man I am. We're all equal here. Well, hey, for you new folks in chat, if you become a member today, in 40 months, you could be a 40-month member. Join the channel today. We do all kinds of fun stuff. Every month we do a members only live stream. We have a Discord. Join the Discord. I don't promote the Discord enough. Join the Discord, link in the description. Oh, and I am on Blue Sky now because Twitter is a little better because a lot of the bots have left, which is hilarious because I'm not a hugely followed person on Twitter, but I do have like 15,000 Twitter followers, which is enough to attract the attention of the bots. So it was hilarious going into the election and how many bot followers I got over the past like month. And then as soon as the election was over, they all disappeared. It was hilarious. It's like, all my friends are gone. Wait, none of my friends are real. Okay. So how far apart do we got to take? I got to take the front cover off. And unfortunately out here, I don't have a mobile cam. Lee Smith gifted a community membership. Cheers and appreciate it. Best way to support the channel, gift memberships to others. Because that way, other people get to be channel members. Have you a chance to check the Twitch stuff? Ah, shoot, I forgot to do that. I will check. It should just be a permission thing. Make sure, have you linked your Twitch account with your Discord account? You have to link your Twitch account with your YouTube or your Discord account if you haven't done that. Never see you on the platform. I'll be honest, Twitter is horrible. It is a horrible platform. It's all bots and echo chamber, and ever since the moderation went to crap, it's horrible. But it's still the best at what it is, which is the worst part. I'm on Blue Sky. Nobody's on Blue Sky. There's a few people on Blue Sky, but I follow a good chunk of the 3D printing people in our little group on Blue Sky as well. And when I check them out, it's like, wow, 4 people tweeted or posted today. It's like, that's it. A lot of people are moving to Blue Sky, but nobody's really using it the same way they use Twitter. So Blue Sky is kind of dead. It actually just broke a record for users. It's at like 14 million users now. The thing is, Twitter does something really bad. A bunch of people move to Blue Sky and create a Blue Sky account. They use it for a day, realize nobody's really using it, and they go back to Twitter. Same thing happened with Threads, where everyone went to the platform. It's like, oh, hey, a new mall just opened up. So the day the mall opens, it's busy. So everyone goes to the mall. And then you walk around the mall and go, well, we have all this stuff at the other mall, and this one's smaller. So I'm just going to go back to the other mall. That's basically the Twitter competitors, is they don't really have more than Twitter. They have the exact same thing as Twitter, just less of it. Luckily, they have a lot less of the bots. and depending on your lean of a political opinion, but for the most part, they are pretty much the same. Okay. The fan seems fine. I'm not too concerned about the fan. I'm not too concerned. Should I swap the fan? That is my question. Let's see here. I'm tempted to just YOLO it and swap the fan out with a known good fan. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to swap the fan out with a known good fan. This is the fan that was in a Voron for like 2 years and it worked fine the whole time. So I'm assuming that this fan's good. So I'm going to swap the fan out. I'm going to assume the fan is good, but swap the fan out. Because just in case there's a heat creep issue. Takes 2 seconds. Actually, no, it's going to take a little longer because I'm going to have to clip some stuff. But okay, let's see here. The cables. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Yep, okay. Yeah, we're gonna swap this fan out just to make sure. Right about there. Have I tried the archetype tool head? No. No, not that one, no. Adventure printing, $5.99 the apron. I would, it's actually a little warm out here. Plus I'm wearing my Voron shirt. Well, when we do a build, when we start the Trident build, or the V2 build, I'll put an apron on. How's that? How's that? Is that fair? Mastodon onboarding is awful. It's like Faucet. Yeah, Mastodon's a dead end. Mastodon will be the GitHub equivalent of a social media. It's way too not user friendly, and the fact that it's like Discord where everything is kind of like segmented. I don't like that. I want everyone in the same spot. I'm on social media to essentially promote I'm a YouTuber. I'm on social media to interact with my audience, grow my audience, and interact with other content creators. And it sounds horribly to say this. I'm on Twitter to benefit my channel. I'm on Twitter to get eyes on me. That's how it works as a content creator on a social media platform. You're on that platform to grow your awareness. Okay. And also, you know, there's a lot of good reasons I'm on there too, besides that, but that's, as a content creator, one of the big ones. So going to Mastodon, where everyone I already know is and nobody else is, it's kind of like a, well, now what type scenario. Old school forums. The problem with old school forums is you can't find anything, because all the images on an old school forum were from like a freaking photo bucket account that expired 10 years ago. So the problem is with forums is forums only worked as a product of their time, because operating a forum nowadays would cost too much because of data hosting and whatnot. You're gonna end up with Discord again, essentially. Discord is modern forums. Discord took over from forums for the most part. That type of community interaction, Discord took it over. Like, for those that don't know, we have an official Voron forum. There is an official Voron forum. And it doesn't get anywhere near, it's got a healthy population, but it doesn't get anywhere near as much interact or user, like there's nowhere near as many users on that as there is on the Discord. Like, it's not bad, but like when you look at the statistics of both, one is obviously more popular, and it's the Discord, because that's just kind of the way things have trended with social media. Nobody uses ICQ anymore. ICQ never went away. Old forums never went away. People just stopped using them. So it do be what it is. Okay. So by the way, I hate DuPont connectors. I hate crimping DuPont connectors. I can never get DuPont connectors to crimp right because they have to do that stupid little crossover thing, and I can never get them to crimp right. IRC. You know what I mean. Is ICQ still around? I'm assuming it's still around in some form, or IRC, I don't know. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Those old, you know, here in Canada, it was MSN Messenger. Or, yeah. Like, here in Canada, AOL Instant Messenger, AIM was never a thing. Because, well, technically we did have AOL in Canada, which is funny when you think about it. We did have it in Canada, but AIM was never popular in Canada. We all used MSN Messenger. That was our communication thing when I was in high school. Which one's positive? You're positive. Okay. Go there. Actually, I gotta this through here. And I don't even know what the kids are using nowadays for their social media. It's like just Instagram and whatnot, right? TikTok. Trillion. Was Trillion the platform that allowed you to communicate on multiple platforms? What was the one that like a few people, like I used it because I had like one friend in the US that used AIM, so I had to use AIM occasionally. But there was that one platform that allowed you to like log into multiple at the same time. Trillion? Yeah. Yeah, I remember Trillion. Back in my day. Here I am being all boomer now. If you wanted to look at memes, you had to go on albino black sheep. You remember Stick Death? Who here remembers Stick Death? Okay, so we got a new fan on here. I don't really want to take this all apart, but I don't think we're having heat creep issues. I really don't think we're having heat creep issues. I really don't think we're having heat creep issues. Let me just make sure everything's tight, but I really don't think we're having heat creep issues here. Where is my stretch? One amp. What is it? Kicks the llama's ass? Is that what you're supposed to say with Winamp? Napster. Okay, how's this all looking? I want to take you out so I can take a look at it. It whips the llama's ass. That's right. Remember listening to music? You downloaded an MP3 on like LimeWire after whatchamacallit, Napster got taken down. Everyone went to LimeWire and whatnot. And you would download it and then you would play it, and Windows Media Player would play it on your Windows XP computer. And you would watch the visualizer. Those were the days. Okay. So it is chewing up the filament a bit, but not crazy. No. Well, that's good. The prints look okay. Yeah, I'm not about to reprint any of this. It looks pretty healthy. Like, nothing's pulled out. The heat sets haven't pulled out or anything. Yeah, the print, that was the one thing I was a little worried about, was the print itself. But everything looks okay. It's a little dirty, but I had a little brush. Where's my itty bitty brush? Do I have my itty bitty brush? I do not have my itty bitty brush. I need to buy more of those little acid etch brushes. I used to have a whole bunch of them, and they kind of just float around until they disappear. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah, that looks good. Is the Make sure the gear's tight. Make sure that grub screw's tight. Yeah, grub screw hasn't moved. Yeah, everything's good there. Okay, so let's take the motor off now and see what we're looking at here. Let's get this motor off and see what we're doing with. I can't put that in there. Need that Allen key. Where is the key of Allen? Just had it. So let's get this motor off. And see the Winamp boombox. Oh, cool. What are the bottom out limit screw? That is bottomed out all the way. That is bottomed out all the way, it looks like. Yeah, that's bottomed out all the way. Okay, how do I get the other screw out? Is it, which one is it? Never figure out which one it is. It's that one. Okay. So it is this guy, I think. Yeah, it's this guy. Okay, so this is going to tell me two things right here. If the plastic is deformed, no, we're good. Okay, so the motor wasn't overheating. Because what you could do is if you look at where this mounts to on the back, okay, if you look at it on the back and if it's like all deformed and whatnot, then the motor was heating up too much. But I don't think we had that issue. So this is a slightly smaller motor. This is a 36 mil motor, and this is a... They're both 36s, but this is a bigger motor. We're going to a smaller LDO. Hopefully it doesn't... Yeah, it should be okay. And how's the teeth? Yeah, the teeth are all fine. Everything's fine there. Yeah, everything is healthy there. How's that motor looking? How's those teeth looking? I think this gear looks like it's cut better. I don't know. The one on this one right here, this is the LDO. The gears look better, look healthier on the LDO. Like, I know it's not too much of a difference, but just me looking at them, the LDO ones are like, they come to a cleaner point. These just look mangled. Like they're not cut with clean cutter. Why is the camera? Because it's broken. Text. There you go. Okay. If I get asked about something like 4 or 5 times on the stream within like 10 minutes, that's what you get. Why you know fix it? Well, if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, I do have a PO box. I haven't checked it in a while because I don't think anyone sent me anything. So I'll probably end up actually shutting it down soon because it actually costs me quite a bit, and nobody sends me anything, so I'll probably end up shutting that down relatively soon, but we'll see. Okay, so let's put you here, and then you go in here. Print out a meme and send it to me. I mean, I'm not going to stop you from doing it. I think I have like 1 more month on it. I think the PO box closes down in a month. Okay, let's tighten this. So that goes there. So you're tight there. How's the gearing look? How's the gearing look? So the problem is I can't really turn the gears. Also, I don't know if you could see here. I did add a fan. 1 second. I did put a fan on it. So I do have a fan to cool the controller on the board itself. So I do also have that. I'm really hoping we just swap the motor, I put the panels on, and I start this print again, and everything works. Simple as that. We're gonna send you multiple overhead cameras now. I mean, more cameras is good for the channel, right? Like the more cameras I have, I do need more cameras. That wouldn't be a bad thing. Okay, there's that. Okay, so now let's loosen you and get you engaged. I know it's a great camera angle. I need... Are you indexed? Can't see. Feet stream? We don't do that. We're better than that. We're better than a foot stream. We do hot tubs. Okay. Just making sure everything seems healthy. Yeah, it seems healthy. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so now, yeah, none of the heat sets pulled out, so we're good there. Probably get 100,000 subs if I did. Check the palm gear. If the old mesh was bad, it might be chewed up. The palm gear actually looks okay. I looked at it from the back. It's not bad. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Because we do have this gear, which is like the old gear, but I don't trust the old gear. The old gear is sus. This one looks fine. Yeah, it's not chewed up at all. Those teeth are healthy. We're good there. Okay, let's put it all back together. Let's put it all back together. Okay, so you go in here. Go up. I think you go in here. Could try eating the extruder. I would. The problem is I'm really trying to avoid changing too much on this because I'm trying to review the printer kit. So if I go and take everything that they sent me and throw it in the garbage and start over, how can I go, hey, this kit's good if you replace everything? That's not the way to do it. So I'm trying to do the minimal amount of modding to get this functional. And then we'll deal with other stuff. Because at the end of the day, the Stealth Burner and Clockwork 2 is a functional toolhead. It's not the most optimized, but it's a perfectly functional toolhead, so it should work. Like this isn't like an Ender or something. Like we have a known good functioning setup here, and it's not working, so it must be a component issue. So. If you're replacing everything. Well, that's the thing. I'm trying not to replace everything. That's why while I have replacement printed parts, I'm still using the printed parts that came with the kit because I think they're still good. Now, if this fails, the next step I'm going to look into is replacing the entire tool head. I'll probably go, the problem is this is a stealth, this is an SB2209. So I have to replace it with a tool head that takes that board, unless I also want to replace this board and go to like an XOL or something. I would like to put an XOL in here. I kind of like the XOL, but Tube's going on something else. But yeah, so like I'm trying to keep it as stock as possible so that I can review the stock setup. The moment I go and start changing everything, it's no longer a stock setup. So I'm trying not to change everything. I'm trying to keep it standard. Something fell out and I don't know what, and I can't remember what. Oh, it was one of those screws. Okay, I'm not too worried about that. Actually, let me put this on right now, because this is the part I got to put on. So you go there and you go there. So you go around that, you go there. Okay. Tubing the Tico. Something around that age, actually. I just gotta finish it. It's actually already in something. I just gotta finish the build. Okay, I need one more of those little M38s because I dropped one. Have any M38s around here? No. Into my stash. No more clogs with the Tico. Well, here's the funny thing. Are you ready? I haven't had any clogs with the Tico. The problem is you can't fix a Tico if it clogs up. It's an absolute nightmare if your Tico clogs to try and unclog it. So I'm very hesitant to actually do anything with the Tico because I don't want to break it. It's like, I know it works. We've printed with it. The Tico works. It's my, in case I don't have anything to do on stream, bust out the Tico is the go-to. But I don't want to yet because I don't think we need to. I still have content. Okay, that's that, that's that, that's that. Let's put you down here. You're good there. Okay, now we're gonna put the front on. Let me grab my phone so I can see how to put those on. Nice blue filament. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to print this with the Tico blue. The problem is the Tico blue is extremely brittle. It was breaking, like, have you ever clogged a Bowden tube? I have. It broke into like a million pieces in the Bowden tube and I can't get it out. Because it's the 6mm Bowden tube. So it's all like bent and jammed on each other and like parts got like side by side. It's a mess. So don't run super brittle PLA through a reverse Bowden system. It'll just jam it all up. Okay, let's see here. Pull up the image. There we go. Okay. Dry it. I know I can. I know I can dry it. I just haven't. This was before I knew it was that bad. Okay. So we got black. Okay. So we got what do we got? I got red. Where's red? Red. Yellow. White. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk while I'm doing this. I actually did reach out to a not a printer, well, okay, how do I say this? I did reach out to somebody involved in the 3D printing business in the US to see if they would like to talk about the impact potential tariffs and whatnot might have on the hobby level 3D printing market in the US. I haven't heard anything back yet, but that might be something I put a video out on if I can get, if they want to do it. If they don't, they don't, which it's up to them. But it's something I want to try and do, is do a video on that. Just to kind of get an actual opinion from somebody who's actually involved with it, who this will directly impact. So we'll see, we'll see. I'm not going to say who, so don't try guessing. I'm not going to tell you who. That is Totally the wrong screw, but whatever. BTT about to get pricey. Anything from overseas is about to get pricey. I mean, I'm a little worried. Like, I love when people are like, you're not American, shut up. I'm like, no, I'm not American. I just, you know, am a content creator. So, you know, my employer, YouTube, is an American company. The majority of my audience is American. My wife works for a company that the product they manufacture predominantly goes to the US. So if tariffs get put against Canada, that will impact her job. Plus, you know, you guys are the world police. So it's kind of like, yeah, I think I'm allowed to be paying attention. Like, I think I'm allowed to like go, hey, current ongoing events. Wait, did I screw that in right? What is that? Oh, wait, am I just being dumb? We're good. Okay, I think we're good there. So now let's load some filament and get this printing. I'm just going to get it printing right off the bat. I'm going to put it on the desk and we're just going to get it printing right now, because the only way to find out if it works is to print. So the quicker I can get this printing, the quicker we can figure out if we're good on stream. Although I probably am going to have to change the motor voltage. What voltage should I be running this motor at? 0.4, 0.5? I'm thinking 0.4. I think 0.4. And 0.3 same motor. Okay, I'll drop it to okay, 0.5. Yeah, we'll do 0.5. This should have enough torque. I'm printing at the stock profile speed, so it's not like we're printing super fast. Let me load filament. Where is? Give me some of that purple stuff. Where the purple stuff at? Grab you. Grab you. Where did I put the purple stuff? Somebody go back and watch the stream and tell me where I put the purple filament. Oh, it fell on the ground. That's where it went. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So we'll do my thing where I put it on a stick behind the printer. Go. Move you forward a bit. There we go. Can always bump it up. That's not. Yeah. Well, I've got active cooling on, or at least there's a fan nearby, so it shouldn't be too bad. Actually, I'm gonna have to check the extruder too, because it might be backwards. And this is known good PTFE tube, because this is, okay, so let's see. So you go in there, lock. Okay, so that is locked, okay. Okay, printers, SIBOOR QUADXY, go. Okay, home all. Go. That line is a little annoying, but it's fine. Extruder. Okay, here, extruder 240. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Printer.cfg. Extruder. Okay. So we're gonna run this. So originally I was running, a lot of these values are default. I tweaked a bunch of values and then I ended up putting a bunch of them back to defaults because it didn't fix anything. So interpolation's off. Stealth chop threshold is 0. And we're running the motor at 0.5. I think that's okay. Let's see, restart. I did check it to ensure that it is extruding the amount I tell it to extrude. So I'm not worried about that. synthwave colors for your Trident build. There you go. Because I have done multi-hour PLA prints on this machine, and it prints fine. So it's obviously a heat issue we're running into, or it's something with the heat. So I'm hoping, hey, maybe if we switch to a different motor that handles the heat better, we don't run into the problem. That's kind of what I'm hoping, but we'll see. We shall see. How long do your edamame printed parts last? Whenever I did the video where I built it, since then. My daily driver headphones are the edamames. I use them every day. I'm chronically on the internet, so they get used a lot. And yeah, I've had to replace parts because I've dropped it and broke something. The little snappy arms that like clip around, I've had to replace those because I dropped it once and they broke. So I just printed new ones. The joy of a 3D printed thing is like, oh no, it broke. Okay, file print. Okay. So extrude. Okay, let's extrude. Make sure we're going the right way. Are we I have no idea which way we're going. Are we going the right way? Yeah, we're going the right way. Okay. So if I extrude 50 millimeters of filament at 5 millimeters, extrude. There we go. And it's healthy. I'm not hearing any hangups. Yeah, it sounds healthy. Is the fan going? Yeah, that fan's going. The front fan's going. Okay, I think we're good. 5. Okay. Print. Let's get a print going. And while it's doing that, let's button it back up. We're going right into a print. We're going right into a print. Right into a print. Oh, I forgot. It's got to fit under that door. There we go. What are we doing for dinner tonight, guys? I need to figure out what I'm doing for dinner tonight with the family. Probably just go out somewhere, I think. It is Friday, my dudes. Okay, why don't you want to go in there? I don't gotta shoot down. There we go. Okay, what are we doing for dinner? I kind of want pizza, but I've had too much pizza. I made the mistake last time we were at Walmart. They had like pizzas on sale, so I grabbed like a bunch of frozen pizzas, and then I got lazy, and that's all I made for dinner for like 2 or 3 days this week. Was just I'll just make a pizza. Throw a pizza in the oven. Country fried steak. What's a country fried steak? Pancakes. So right now, all I've done is replace the motor. The motor has been replaced. I did something else, didn't I? I checked a bunch of stuff. We did check some stuff. It seems good. We replaced the motor. And I could have sworn there was something else I did. Didn't I do something else? I don't know. We replaced the motor. We checked some stuff. And yeah. And I'm hoping that's all I need to do. Oh, and I dropped the voltage. Well, I had to change the voltage. Oh, the fan. Oh, yeah. So I didn't think it was a heat creep issue. It is a Rapido. So to be safe, I replaced the hot end fan. I'm not too concerned with the part cooling fan because it's Prince ABS. You barely need a fan. That's one of the reasons I don't really upgrade a lot of my Vorons to like different tool heads, is simply for the fact that they're printing ABS. They barely need cooling. They just need like a gnat blowing on the print just to kind of clean up the edges a bit. You don't need much in terms of cooling with ABS. So you don't need the crazy CPAP dual 5015 tool head to blow 10% air on an ABS print. Okay, come on. There we go. Why don't you want to connect? Come on. There we go. Screen's working at least. Okay, and then we put the top on. CPAP and Delta fans. How much fan do you need? Yes. Gale force. How am I missing a corner piece? Oh, it's right here. 12-inch blower. I mean, what you do, the ball and move is you go and you just get a leaf blower. You just use a leaf blower. That's what you do. And I didn't bring it out here, it's inside, but I do have a rodent now, for those who are curious. At some point, I will put it on a machine, but I gotta figure out what machine and when to put it on, so we'll see. Okay, I gotta put the door back on. How's that first layer? Seems good. There's like one glob hanging on and I can see it. It's like I can't get it. Also, I'm having issues with this machine where it's drifting. I'm having drifting issues with my first layer on this machine. It doesn't have it has a cartographer, not a beacon. And it's whatever firmware was on it when I got it. But I am having drifting first layer. Pretty much every time I start a print, I have to increase the first layer by like 0.05, like the offset. It's a little too close to the bed. Good enough. So now the fun part. Yeah, the beacon is a better probe. Well, I know the quality. Here's the thing. They're both just eddy current probes. They're both just eddy current probes. They're just different. But I think one is manufactured to a higher QC level. I have both. I can't say that this is having the drift issues because it's the cartographer, because I have no reference. I haven't tried anything else on here. What temp? Well, right now my cartographer is at 58, but it's supposed to be like calibrated for that all, remember? Have I set up the touch? No, it's not set up for touch. But it shouldn't need to be set up for touch. Personally, I would rather have PZ probe in this. I like my nozzle probing. And yes, I know you can do nozzle probing on these. I know you can, but... Just double check that. Okay. So now the fun part. This is why fixing this has been such a pain in the butt. I won't know if what I did works for another like hour. So we're just gonna let this print for the next hour. So now we wait. So I don't know. What do you guys want to do for the next hour? Heatsink. I did put a heatsink on it. There is a heatsink on the control board as well. How do I word this? Heatsink electronics do not heatsink motors. If you are having to heatsink your motor, you are either in an extreme outlier case where you actually need to actively cool your motors, or something is not set up right on your printer. A normal printer like this, you should not be putting heat sinks on motors. You should not be putting heat sinks on motors. Check it. It's on the tool head boards. Don't match the on the TMC driver, but on the stream you followed SIBOOR. So are you ready? I have a heatsink on both. I have a heatsink on the RP2040, and then also a heatsink on the driver. So there's heatsinks on both. Plus, there's a fan blowing on everything. So we should be good. What's cooled? Everything's cooled, or at least actively cooled now as well. Actually, there should be a heatsink on the driver. I know there's one on the RP2040. The driver is board cooled though. The board is the heatsink for the driver. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. See what happens. An external radiator and heat pipes. Is it a normal Rapido 2? It is whatever came with the kit. I can't remember if it's a Rapido 1 or 2, but it's whatever Rapido came with the kit. So, yeah. Liquid nitrogen cooled steppers. That's a little too much. They might not move if they're liquid nitrogen cooled. Will I be visiting Formnext? I will not be. I am going to Smurf in Manchester. That is pretty much it. The other... I'm not even a 65K Andy on YouTube. You think I got the budget to go all these events? I barely break even when I go places. Yeah, I would love to go to Formnext, but unfortunately, it's just not in the cards. Several different reasons, monetary reasons. It's expensive to travel across the Atlantic Ocean to just go to an event like that. But also time-wise. For those that don't know, my wife has a full-time job. I became a full-time YouTuber so I could stay at home with the little guy. Simple as that. I'm Mr. Mom at home. So anytime I go to an event, my wife has to take time off work to watch the little guy, essentially. So she only has so much vacation time. Simple as that. Put a little pad in there just to hold that down. There we go. Well, it made sense. It made sense at the time, because if she were to leave her job to be at home with the little guy, that would be it. Whereas I could leave my job to go be home with the little guy and I still have the YouTube thing. So it made sense. North Manchester, Indiana. Smurf is in Manchester, UK. How's the new Death Racer build going? We haven't started the build yet. We will be doing the build on a stream. I gotta get the parts printed. I gotta get the Pantheon printing some CF nylons soon. Get that going. Can't get the filament feed working on the SV06. Anyone want to? What do you mean filament feed? Just unlock it, push the filament through till it comes out of the hot end, and then lock it back up. Yeah, no, Smurf is the Sanjay Mortimer Rep Rap Festival. It's put on by E3D in honor of Sanjay, and it's in the UK because they're in the UK. So, which means I get to go to Iceland, which would be cool. I mean, like, you don't really like. I'm of the opinion here's how do you say this? I'm of the opinion if you don't leave the airport, you truly haven't gone there. So while I will be going to Iceland, I won't be leaving the airport because I have like a 1.5 hour layover there. So I'm flying Icelandair out of Detroit. Yeah. Rose, I'd pull out my SV06 and show you, but I gave it away, so I don't have it anymore. Sorry. Yeah, I would love to go to Iceland too. It's actually not that bad. Flight isn't that bad. Round trip, it's like 900 US from Detroit to Manchester. So it's not too bad. Could be better, could be worse. It's cheaper than my flight into London last year for Smurf. Smurf last year was in Oxford, so everyone flew into London, Heathrow. This one kind of sucks because there's no direct flights this year. Going to Manchester, pretty much everything has a layover. But luckily, Icelandair, the flights were relatively cheap compared to some of the other options I had. Air Canada wasn't that much more. It's like an extra $500, but it also involved like a 6-hour wait in Frankfurt. It was like this is like a 6-hour flight. It's a 6-hour flight from Detroit to Iceland, an hour layover, and then a 2-hour flight into Manchester. Flying with Air Canada was like 20 hours because it's 3 flights with like both layovers are like 5 hours. It was horrible. So I'm like, yeah, we're totally, I'm not doing that. We aren't doing that. Iceland's expensive. It's a small island nation in the northern Atlantic. Of course it's going to be expensive. It's not cheap to get there. It's not cheap to get stuff there. If it's a normal Rapido 2, drop print temps by 10 degrees. They have heat creep issues related to inaccurate temps. I don't know what this kit came with. Let me see here. It should say SIBOOR Trident, June 2024. Why we got a Cloudflare thing? My eye's twitching 1 second. Which one is it? What's the difference here? What's the difference here? SIBOOR Trident, all-wheel drive. I think they're both the same, whatever. Both June 24, select option, sure, whatever. Can I? Load. I mean, I am printing ABS at 255, which that's low for the normally I print ABS in the 260s. So I am printing at 255. So it should be okay. Like, I don't think 5 degrees would, if 10 degrees is the difference between consistent heat creep failure and not, something's really wrong. Adventure printing, do not play Factorio. That's okay. I'm suffering from restartitis in Baldur's Gate 3 again. So I don't need to worry about addictions. I already got one. PT1000 version. They might call it out in the printer.cfg. They could have temp differences up to 60C. That is not good. Heated bed. Okay, so according to this, sensor type max. So it is a PT1000. If it has a max PT1000, so it's a Rapido 2. I mean, it's got a hot end cooling fan. It should not be heat creeping. And I don't think it's out by 60 degrees. For it to be out by 60 degrees, that's insane. Is the Bamboo Lab P1S worth it now for $550 at Micro Center? Saul! Well, if you said Micro Center, you're in the US. Yeah, $550 is fine. Is it on sale? Here's what I'm going to say for people asking about printers for the next little bit. If you're in the US, your incoming president wants to put a 60% tariff on goods from China. They might not do that. They might not do it right away. They might do it a year from now, they might not do it at all. But he said he wants to do it. And a president can put tariffs on stuff at any point without approval. That's something they can do on their own. That's what within their power to just like wake up one morning and slap a tariff on stuff. Bamboos are from China. So if you're on the wall about buying a printer, see, at this point I would be shilling the hell out of an affiliate link, but I don't have one. Yeah, most people, if you don't know what a tariff is, okay. I am wanting to buy rubber ducky. I can buy rubber ducky for $30 from an American supplier, or I can go on AliExpress and buy rubber ducky for $10 from China. I, the end user, this is a $10 rubber ducky. Okay, I pay $10, I get rubber ducky. President go, no more rubber duckies for $10. We want to keep the American rubber ducky industry afloat. We're going to put a percentage, but we're going to put a $20 tariff on rubber duckies from China. So now this rubber ducky from China is the same price as the rubber ducky from America. So the company in the US that makes the rubber duckies, they're happy. The employees are happy, but you, the end user, went from spending $10 on a rubber ducky to $30 on a rubber ducky. So you got hosed. You are paying more. The company making the rubber duckies in China isn't paying anymore. They're going to lose sales. But also, now the company that the country that made the rubber duckies, they're going to put tariffs against you. So that, like, what was it, soybeans? I think, was it soybean guys that got hit from the aluminum tariffs last time Trump was in power? He put tariffs on aluminum from China, and then they put tariffs on soybeans. So the soybean farmers had nobody to buy their soybeans. It's tit for tat. It's the way it works. It's a trade war thing. But yeah, you don't save anything when a tariff goes into place. What it does is it just increases the price of goods from overseas that you end up paying for. And then the best part of this, are you ready for the best part of this? You might luck out. You might luck out. And the tariff makes them the same price. But now, if the American rubber ducky is cheaper than the foreign rubber ducky, you might luck out again. And the guy running the company that makes American rubber duckies is the same guy who runs Arizona iced tea. And he's like, well, we're making enough. We don't need to increase the price. But odds are the company isn't run by the guy running Arizona iced tea. And that guy goes, great. Now we have a monopoly. Now we can increase our price because they have no cheaper option. So the price just goes up because F you, because capitalism. So yeah. So yeah. I just want cheap small trucks. Freaking chicken tax. So yeah, that's yeah. That's one of the reasons food got so cheap during this period. The U.S. government had to subsidize the domestic market was saturated. Yep. Remember, anytime you see the ribwich, that means the price of pork has collapsed. The only time you see the ribwich at McDonald's is when the price of pork has crashed so cheaply, it makes sense for McDonald's to fire up the ribwich machine. That's why. That's why whenever you see like, oh my God, you can get 50 chicken McNuggets at McDonald's for $10, it's because the price of poultry has collapsed. That's why. Ribwich. You don't know what a ribwich is? That's an American thing. Look at it go. Ribwich extruders. I mean, it's a ribwich. It's not really a rib. Damn it, now I want ribs. Call it a McRib. Oh, wait. It's a I'm calling it a ribwich because that's what isn't that what they called it in Simpsons? It's a McRib. Is that what Homer called ribwich? Yeah, I think that was Simpsons. Oh my God. I'm dating myself with a Simpsons reference now. You could tell I grew up when the Simpsons were popular. Yeah, Krusty Burger has a ribwich. That's right. That's right. I would pull up a clip, but then I would get copyright struck. You are right. It's the McRib. Not the ribwich is from Krusty Burger. That's right. That's right. That's right. You know what I meant, though. You know what I meant. Okay, let's see if I get copyright struck. I had to pull that clip up. I had to pull that clip up. Check Discord. I'm checking Discord. What am I checking Discord for? Oh, dear Fadus users, regarding the current temperature deviation problem with the Rapido Hot End 2, we would like to make the following solutions. The temperature sensor of the current Rapido Hot End 2 series is designed to be located at the top of the heat block, which will increase the printing flow of the hot end to a certain extent. However, the Rapido sensor, there's a detect time in the actual nozzle. The current Rapido 2 can be used normally if you need high-speed printing. The printing temperature can be set according to the recommended temperature of the filaments. If they are printing normally, they're printing at the same time. Thanks to fan feedback, we have optimized the sign of the current Rapido 2 temperature sensor. So, oh, 10 degrees lower. Okay. So what we'll do, I'm printing ABS at 255. I'm not too concerned. Plus, the type of failure I saw did not really look like a heat creep failure. It didn't really look like a heat creep failure. Because I wasn't grinding filament. It was just not extruding anymore. And when I did open air printing, I didn't get the issue. But that could also be the chamber heats up enough that plus the hot end. What I'll do, I'm gonna let this go because this is a G-code file that failed before. This is the same G-code file I've been using the whole time. It's a standard Voron profile. I use it on all my machines, so I know it's a good profile. And it prints fine until it fails. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna run this profile, and if it fails, I'm gonna run it again 10 degrees cooler. So at least then we get that out of the data point. I'm not gonna drop the temp now because I don't know if that's the issue. Heat creep would have clogged it. Most likely. Most likely. I haven't had any clogs at all. Literally, like, when this fails, what I do is I stop it, I let it cool down, I pull the broken parts off, the failed parts off, I pull the filament out of the hot end, I look at it, go, that's fine. I push it right through, and I started printing again, and it starts printing again fine. So we're just gonna let it do its thing, and hopefully we're okay. Give you something to look at. There we go. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna fix the screen, because if I fix the screen now, when I pick this up to put it back on the bench, I'm gonna break the screen again. Still keep it in mind. Oh yeah, I'm gonna keep it in mind. Essentially what we're doing is I'm printing like this so the only thing we've changed is we swapped the fan out for heatsink cooling, just to ensure that, hey, maybe the old fan was just a horrible fan and barely blew air. Who knows? Okay. So I swapped out the heatsink fan with a known good fan, and we swapped out the extruder motor. That's it. I'm running stuff now where if it fails again, then we know that this wasn't the cause. Let's try something else. You don't want to change too many things at once, because if you change a bunch of stuff and it starts working, you don't really know what fixed it. So if somebody else in the future is like, hey, I bought this kit too, and I'm having this issue. How did you fix it? Go, okay, so what you need to do is you need to put a fan on the thing. You need to put on some extra heat sinks. You need to swap out this fan. You need to replace your motor. You need to replace your gears, and you need to replace these printed parts. And it's like, do I need to do all that? I don't know. I did all of that and now it works, but I don't know which one of those fixed it. You wanna, are the SIBOOR, I've heard they were Moons motors. I heard they were Moons motors, but I'm not sure. LDO usually puts their logo on stuff. Hardee's? I've never been to Hardee's. We don't have them in Canada. Who has messaged me? Ooh. Oh, that's clever. The screen slides into a little cubby. So you have buttons for immediate control, and if you want the screen, you just pull the screen out. That's nifty as shit. Send me a link for that. I like that. That's pretty cool. And also, while I'm not printing at like YOLO speeds, I am printing relatively fast. So we are having good flow. Like, we are pushing filament through the hot end at a pretty good rate. SIBOOR uses stepper-on loan motors. Okay, they're not bad. A lot of my older builds use, like, before LDO became really cool and started putting out kits and whatnot, a lot of my builds use stepper-on line motors. Those were like the OG recommended motor back in the day. So. Horizon 2.4. Oh. No, I'm not going to fix the screen now, because if I fix the screen now, Rose, when I go to pick up the machine to put it back on the shelf, I'm going to break it again. So I'm going to wait till I put it back, and then I'll fix it. And by fix it, I'm just going to slap a bunch of gloop on it again. You can see the gloop stains in there. I like the black on yellow what do you mean black on yellow? What do you mean black on yellow? Oh, in the mod. Okay. I'm like, what do you mean black and yellow? I will say though, the parts that I have, I printed all the accent parts on a Prusa Mark IV for the build. And it's a Prusa, so they all came out beautifully. This is polymaker, ABS, Mark IV. So those all came out pretty dang good. Go, printer, go! Do your stuff. Yeah, I know it's a screen mod. No, fix it with the mod. Oh! Well, I don't know if this screen is compatible with that mod. Plus, that has a bunch of buttons and whatnot. So. Okay, let's see. What's going on? Let's pull up the socials and see what everyone's yapping about. Mark IV feels like a cheat code. The Mark IV is one of those things that it's like, okay, yes, a Bamboo A1, P1, whatever, Creality K2, whatever, they look glitzy compared to like a Bamboo or a Prusa. Let's be honest, the Prusas look outdated. But you know what? They just work. They are the Honda Civic of 3D printers. They just work. Like, they work the way you expect them to work consistently. And if something goes wrong with it, cool, reprint the part or just go buy a bearing on Amazon. Like, everything on it is off the shelf parts for the most part. So if something goes wrong, you can just fix it yourself really easily. Like, I really wish Prusa would come out with a single tool head, mid-size QUADXY, like a 275 single tool head or IDEX setup that came fully enclosed from the factory, a nice compact enclosure, not one with the giant hat or whatever. I really wish they did come out with something like that. but functionally a Mark IV in a box does the same thing. It's not as fast. Oh no, something that might take me 18 hours takes me 19 hours. Who cares? It finishes while I'm sleeping anyways. Like, I don't judge printers on speed. You want to know how I judge speed on a printer? You ready? This is all I care about. Will the print be done today or tomorrow? When I'm printing something, will it be done today or tomorrow? That's all I care about. I don't care about speed with printers. I got enough printers. The fastest printer is more printer. Simple as that. And I got enough printers. So I don't care how fast the machine goes. Like, don't get me wrong. There is a point where it's like, okay, this is way too slow. But if like the standard profile for a printer could put out a decent benchy in 30 minutes, I'm okay with that. That's all a printer needs to go. This is perfectly fast enough for me. And also, yeah, that's the other thing. It doesn't matter how fast it goes if the print fails. Just go really fast into that fail. I'm really hoping... Here's the problem. It's printing perfectly fine right now. This is the biggest problem. It is printing perfectly fine right now. Which it does every time for about 45 minutes. And then it just stops printing fine. So I don't know until it fails. My Mark IV is a print farm rescue from the Shop Nation guy. It came with 4,000 hours on it. And how does it work right now, Josh? How's it functioning now? Fine, I'm assuming? Fastest printer is 2 printers. It is. It is. The fastest way to print faster. There's a reason, as much as I don't like to cite, what was it, All 3DP? Did a thing on like a print farm. Yeah, this. China's largest print farm. The owner of Jinki Toys. By the way, I think I know who this dude is. Not in the good way. Not in the good way. Let me find it here. Let me find it here. Because I was in the mall. The mall. Who goes to the mall anymore? I was in the mall last week or a while ago. I don't know. And I saw this. Where is it? Where is it? This sucks. How long ago was it when I took the picture? I tweeted about it too. This. So I was at the mall and I saw these. These are 3D printed. These are all 3D printed in really thin, cheap plastic cases. They sell for like $8. I wish I had gotten a picture of the label because you can't really see who makes this. There's no real branding on it. I wish I had gotten a picture of like the shipping label. Actually, when I go to the mall tomorrow, I'll take a look. But I'm pretty sure that this is all made in this guy's farm. Because it's all 3D printed from China. And his farm, yeah, it's these. I'm pretty sure this is the company. 80% export. Yeah, so basically he just owns a farm of like 500 printers. They got A1s, but I guess like a lot of them are the Flash Forge, are these guys. Flash Forge Adventurers. Yeah, hundreds of A1s. Yeah. So that's what they're doing. They just have a absolute crap load. We stay ahead of our competition with original capabilities. Originalized key access. Without original, we simply remain traditional. We could easily be eliminated from the market within those that have already secured copyrighted and IPs. I'm sorry, buddy. Copyrighted IPs. Are you paying for the license for these models? Because these, I'm pretty sure that's a Crystal Wing Dragon, and I'm pretty sure he's not on their Patreon. So yeah. So like that's the shitty thing. Like here's the thing. You could I could actually file a complaint with my government how this store is selling copyrighted materials and violating licenses, and they will look into it, and it'll take 10 years, and they won't do anything because the company's overseas. And I'm pretty sure Showcase or As Seen on TV store doesn't care. But it sucks for the designers. It sucks for the designers that companies like this overseas are just not caring and making a fortune off of other people's designs. I hope on the best case that though they're not copies, they basically just, maybe they paid somebody to clone the design, so it is an original design inspired by something else, so at least they're not truly breaking the license. But if they're just like, and hopefully, like, I really hope they just didn't pay for like the $10 tier on whatever. A lot of these creators have like a tier on their Patreon that allows commercial sales. I really hope for an operation this size, they're not paying for like $60 a year for that kind of thing. But yeah, watch the screen reflection. What? It's oh yeah, YouTube. I mean, there's nothing on the screen here. I made a video on speed printing and got super pissed. Yeah, speed printing is chasing a dragon. When speed printing, especially with like silk filaments you can't print fast. A lot of engineering filaments you can't print fast. If you want to get, there's a reason this machine can do meter-a-second travels, but prints at roughly the same speed my Voron does. Is because to get the rated manufacturer spec out of the material, it needs to be printed at certain temperatures, at certain flow rates, at certain speeds. So if you are designing something that is supposed to be an engineering grade product, because you are printing an engineered grade product, I know some of the companies that have these machines and what they use them for, and I can't tell you. It tells you what they're doing with them. You want it, when you're making something, it needs to pass certain requirements. And those requirements are material properties of the thing it printed. So you buy filament that when printed to the specific manufacturer recommended specs, you get the specific results you need. So. Do you think he's selling money, making money? He's not selling, that farm isn't making money selling stuff in stores. They're making money selling stuff to stores to sell. In Canada, we have what's called the Showcase store. They used to be called the As Seen on TV store, but now they're called Showcase. You see this kind of crap everywhere there. You see the 3D printed stuff there all the time. Speed benchies are, yeah, it's a drag race. You want to know what happens? Here's a very, very good analogy. Speed benchies are like a drag race. They look really cool, and it's awesome to go fast and look at something go fast. Who here could tell me what happens to the engine of a top fuel dragster car during a drag race? What happens to the engine during a top fuel dragster race? They get rebuilt out of every race because they destroy themselves. Within, what is it? Within like a second of a drag race, the spark plugs have failed, and the engine's just running off of like just residual heat igniting shit, and like everything just destroys itself during the race. Drag race cars, like actual top fuel dragsters, they destroy themselves in the race, and they have to be rebuilt. That's a speed benchy. You do not get a functional part out of a drag race. You just get a printer that looks fast on video. So, what you want, you don't want your 3D printer being a drag racer. You want your 3D printer being a long haul trucker. You want this thing to just consistently move, consistently, all day, every day, until you don't need it anymore. You want this being a big rig. You don't want this being a dragster or a GT car. Yeah, actually a good example would be like an F1 car, because F1 cars, I like what they did a few years back where you can't refuel in an F1 car anymore. During an F1 race, for those that don't know, during a Formula 1 race, they can't refuel. I think they can only like change their tires like once or twice too, because it drives efficiency. It drives these companies to develop efficiency, that you can develop all these cool technologies to make things more aerodynamic, to make things more efficient. And guess what? You take those technologies and you adapt them to normal cars so that we all get the benefits of that. So a speed benchy, the outcome of a speed benchy is shit. Let's be honest. Nobody's actually printing usable anything at speed benchy speeds. But when getting the printer to speed benchy speeds, you learn stuff that when you pump the brakes a bit and you go a little bit more reasonable speeds and flows, hey, this is good to have. Current air fans. I don't like current air fans. I think they're a waste of time a lot of the time, especially on enclosed machines. But current air fans like this came from speed benchies. Like, before Bamboo put one in a machine, you only saw current air fans on really like speed benchy machines, essentially. Like they just were not common. But speed benchy folks started using them. So there is stuff that you learn from pushing the limit, but you don't actually daily drive at the limit. So. Still want a Goliath for the 0.8. Yeah, like, oh, don't get me wrong. There are very valid reasons to have something like a Goliath with like a 1 mil nozzle in it. Perfectly valid reasons. Do you make molds, jigs? Like, when I worked in tool and mold, what would happen is during tryouts, you would take the part that comes out of the machine and you would put it on a rig that would have like all these clamps and whatnot, and it would basically be like it's a giant fixture. Okay, and there's companies that's all they do is they make fixtures. And basically you take your injection molded part, you put it on this fixture, and you put all these clamps on and everything, and it basically ensures that the part that comes out of the mold can actually go onto the car. So the fixture replicates the sizing requirements, the mounting points, and there's like go, no go gauges everywhere on it, little clamps and whatnot that are go, no go gauges to make sure stuff's not too thin or too thick or whatever. So it basically allows you to take the thing, put it on the thing, do a quick test and make sure everything would work when you go to put it on the car. And a lot of the time, when I first started, I never saw it, but as I was getting out of the trade, and this was only like 3 years ago, a lot of those fixtures were now being made out of 3D printed components. Before, you would have like your milled aluminum base, so everything was nice flat level, and you'd have a lot of aluminum extrusions and whatnot, and metal brackets and whatnot. And by the end, I was seeing a lot of stuff that was just 3D printed. And they would you could tell they used a big fat nozzle to 3D print like nothing precision, but like the things that held the things that were precision would be 3D printed. So. I want both a 2.4 that does good ABS prints and a speed printer that does a 2 minute. Well, here's the thing. You can do, okay, 2 minute benchy is pushing it. But like, this is, I think, the stock speed of a Voron. Like, most Vorons, like, I just printed the stock Orca, whatever the Orca slicer profile is for a printer, that's 9 times out of 10 the profile I use is just that speed. Because, like, I'm not gonna, if I know this works and the results I get out of it are good, I'm not gonna sit there and start tweaking stuff to save me 10 minutes on a 2-hour print. I really don't care. So. Reliably is why the Prusa XL tool kind of principle. Yeah, I have, outside of me fiddling with stuff and causing the issues myself, my Prusa XL has had no issues with tool change. I haven't had a single tool head failure on my, like, I haven't had a single tool change failure on my XL outside of conditions that I put it in to make it fail. By like, hey, I didn't calibrate it after doing a pretty intensive mod. Which we figured that out on stream. Are you still printing good? You are still printing good. Don't forget, every stream we give away a spool of filament from Polymaker. Enter for your chance, link in the video description. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button. And if you want to help support the channel, content I create, things I do, there's a lot of links in the video description as well. Affiliate links don't cost you anything extra and go a long way in supporting the channel. And then also, while you're down there, go buy some gamer subs. It's good for you. It's got energy. It's got electrolytes. It's got what plants crave. And you can save 10% with code Canuck. This doesn't have a waifu on it, but it's got a dinosaur. What do I think will be added to the Prusa XL-S? If they do an XL-S version, for those that don't know, Prusa usually a year or so after release of a product, they'll come out with like an S version. So you have like the Mark IV, and now we have the Mark IV-S, which is usually just like an iterative improvement. An XL-S maybe a little bit better. Maybe the problem is you can't do the part cooling that the Mark IV-S has on the XL because of the tool head size constraints. Maybe something different with part cooling, maybe some changes to the boards. I really don't think you would see too much of a difference with an XLS. I don't even know if they would even bother with an XLS. But like the only thing I could see would, again, maybe some changes to the part cooling. Maybe they change the frame up a bit to make it a little bit easier to enclose, but it's still going to be that top hat requirement because of the umbilicals is going to be kind of annoying. Is my mobile camera working? Can we make the mobile camera work today? Mobile webcam, deactivate, activate. Nope, no mobile cam. This thing's dead. I need to buy cameras. That's what I need. I need to start checking Facebook Marketplace because green cam ain't good. That's not a major redesign. Well, I mean, look at the Voron V2. There's been several updates to the V2. It's still a 2.4. It's just there's been the 2.4, the R2, R1, R2. Are we on R3? Have we done an R3 or is it still R2? And then we have the stealth burner upgrade because originally when it came out, it wasn't stealth burner, it was afterburner. Now we have stealth burner. Placement for that's not out yet. And then there's tap, and then there's also all the community mods. There's been a lot of refinement, but the overall design of the printer really hasn't changed much. It's just kind of been tweaked and tuned, and a lot of it's just different printed parts. It's just different printed parts. So it's like if you bought a V2.4 kit, pretty much could go right to V2.4 R2, you just different printed parts. So. Yeah, I didn't say anything. What's the green cam? No, the green cam is my Canon Vixia. It's just a camcorder, which is really, I like the camcorder for the overhead camera because the nice thing with camcorders is they have that, what's that called when you zoom in where you don't lose focus? So like I can zoom in crazy on it. And it's focusing on the glass, that's the problem. So the cool thing I liked about it was that you could focus in crazy. But the problem is, this camera is, I want to say about 4 years old now. It's 4 years old. It was used for a good while, at least 9 hours a week, with many times being on for like weeks. Because this was my main camera before I got the A5100, which is the main camera downstairs. This is the camera you see right here is an A6300. And then I also have an A6400, but the A6400 is rigged up. This is my video camera. So when I do videos, this is what I use for videos. I film on this. So this camera doesn't get used for streams. This is only for videos. It's got a lens on it for videos. It's got the whole, it's set up for just videos. So that's an A6300. So this was my original main camera. And then when I got the A5100, this got moved to being the overhead camera when I was in the basement studio. The problem is I would just leave it on all the time because it was up on the ceiling. So when I finished stream, I would I would go turn off my mics. I would turn off the main camera because the main camera was plugged into a thing that would turn it off after 6 hours automatically. One of those little timer things. Hey, buddy. What's up? What are you doing out here? What are you getting? You gonna use your words? Are you allowed to have that?
I want it.
Did mommy say you could have that?
Yep, I want number window bit.
Look at me. Did mommy say you can have that?
I am have a window bit.
Did mommy say you can have it? Okay.
Only over.
Go bring it to mommy. I'm a little sus about his explanation. Just a little. You need to tell the I don't want to make eye contact. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if I hear the wifey in the next minute or two, a little bit. It's a my wife got some 7-Up cherry, like 7-Up Zero cherry the other day, and he got to try some the other day, and he likes it, so he's like, I want a little bit. So I told him earlier today, like, you can have some after dinner, so we'll see. I've gotten similar answers asking contractors why they did that thing that way. It's like when you're in the army and you screw up, you're just like, no excuse. Why is that like that? No excuse. No, give me an excuse. Like, I'm not going to give you an excuse, because if I say anything, it's going to be wrong. So no excuse. I screwed up. As soon as you realize it's all a game and you're getting yelled at for just to get yelled at, you're just like, no excuse. Don't try and justify it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Give me the push-ups. Let's go. How's the all-wheel drive work on 2.4? All motors inverted in the gantry, but still lose print volume. You lose, let me pull it up here. You do lose print volume with all-wheel drive. So here is what we're printing on the SIBOOR. You could see here, this little area here and this little area here are lost. That is from these motor mounts. If you look at them, they've got motors here. Normally this would just be an idler, but now we have this motor block here. And with the stealth burner, it obviously can't get, it'll hit that. So yeah, simple as that. So you lose X, technically you lose X and Y volume, but it's these little cutouts here essentially. So you technically lose both X and Y volume, but there, that grid, there you go, you can see the grid. So technically a bamboo does this too. If you look at a bamboo, pull the bamboo sheet. Okay, this isn't the stock bamboo sheet, but on a bamboo, you have like a little cutout on the one side that you're not supposed to print in either. Because the way the filament cutter works, if the tool head moves there, it cuts the filament. So that's obviously not good. So that is something it has. QUADXY versus Rat Rig's Hybrid XY. The Rat Rig system, as far as I'm aware, doesn't lose print volume. So you don't have that little cutout in the front corners. The Rat Rig system, okay, it's gonna be quite simple. The Rat Rig system works better on a Rat Rig. The QUADXY system works better on a Voron, I guess. The Rat Rig system isn't QUADXY. The Rat Rig system basically has is QuareXY with helper motors that can also do IDEX. So this is a QuareXY mechanism that basically has replaced two of the idlers, the two front idlers, with additional motors. So the belt pathing is a little bit more complicated, but at the end of the day is the same as a QuareXY. Technically, if you really wanted to, and you're crazy insane like the people at Armchair Engineering, you could put motors on your XY joints and replace the idlers in there too if you really wanted to. You could. Okay? That's all you're doing is you replace idler with motor. That's what this is. The Rat Rig system has helper motors because moving the tool head in the X isn't an issue. It's the Y, because in the Y, you have to move the whole gantry. And on a bigger machine, that's more work. So the motors have to work light and heavy loads essentially because it's QuareXY. So the two motors working tandem together, or working together, opposed, or opposite is how you get your motion. But sometimes that motion translates in an axis with more resistance than others. So you put helper motors in to kind of negate that additional weight of the gantry moving in the Y, because on the X, you're only moving the tool head. So. Make it an 8x8. Yeah, I mean, technically, if you really wanted to, you can build a QuareXY machine with no idlers. Just anywhere there would be an idler, put a motor. You could do that. You're gonna have to daisy chain mantas or octopus boards, but you can do it. But yeah, here, let me pull it up. I know we spoke about this at the beginning of the stream. I just happen to have it open right now. This is the statement from QUADXY. So for those that don't know, Grant has been showcasing the QUADXY printer, the X Plus, on his stream lately, on his channel. So he did a whole stream. It was all live, so you can't hide anything. But following QUADXY's direction not helped him. 190C and still has 70C in the chamber. Yeah, 201C. So yeah, the SSR board was overheating to the point where it was like literally a fire. Literally a fire hazard. But QUADXY sent this email. I guess if anyone here, did anyone get this email? I'm assuming they only sent it to people who had bought an X Plus 4. But QUADXY sent this. I'm sorry, as a content creator, I am beholden to, it depends on the content creator. I'm either beholden to my audience, I'm beholden to my profits, I'm beholden to whatever. But as a reviewer, you can't treat companies specially. If you send me product, I review product you sent me. I can't hide stuff. So for a company to go, the YouTuber 3D Musketeer is being misleading. Even though we informed him that the board he received was not the latest version, he insisted on testing it. Then maybe you should not have sent that to him in the first place. Maybe you should have checked your machine to ensure it wasn't a fire hazard before sending it to a person who reviews printers. Okay? His main focus seems to be on getting, no, it's not. For those that don't know, Grant loses money on his YouTube channel. His channel just, it's not like me. This is my job. Grant has his own job. He has his thing. 3D Musketeer is a business. The YouTube is the side project. Please don't let this, please, I love this, just wait. Please don't let this cause you any concern. We are a responsible company. We're trying to make things better. By the way, if the latest relay is working well, please let us know. Don't look at this. Don't look at the man behind the curtain telling you this is bad. Trust us. We're a great company. We worry about your safety. By the way, if our change works, please let us know. Again, please don't let this cause you any concern. We are a responsible company. We're trying to make things better. If the latest relay is working well, please help us confirm this if possible. Although we made a mistake with the relay issue, 3D Musketeer has continued to stir up panic, which has caused significant impact on us. TLDR, they're losing sales. I don't blame them. No offense, you deserve it. You didn't test a product that can burn somebody's houses down. Again, doesn't happen often, but 3D printer failures have killed people. They have burned houses down. This is very discouraging and upsetting. I'm sorry, QUADXY. This is wholly on you. You sent a product that is a fire hazard to a reviewer, and that reviewer let people know that the product that you sent them is a fire hazard that can fail spectacularly. This is on you. Do not kill and shoot the messenger. You should not be shooting the messenger. What you should be doing is a full flippin' recall in issuing new printers. Because again, we're going to run into the same issue. Guess, for those that don't know, in chat, can somebody help me? What type of voltage does a solid state relay control? Is it low voltage or mains voltage? This is an open question to the classroom. You don't have to put your hand up, just yell it in chat. It's AC. It's AC. It's not DC. It's not heavy metal. It's not AC/DC. It's just AC. Okay, it's mains. Live. Mains voltage, high voltage, whatever you want to call it. Who here remembers last year with the absolute gong show that was Bamboo's A1 recall? and all the shit they had to deal with because they were telling users to replace an AC voltage component. Who here remembers that gong show? I remember that. I'm sure some people in chat did that too. Okay, in a lot of countries, for those that don't know, in a lot of countries, you are not allowed to work on mains voltage without a license. Okay, you're just not. Mostly in Europe, but in a lot of places, you are not supposed to work on mains voltage components without proper certification. It's an insurance risk. Your house burns down. They say, hey, this printer caught fire. What happened here? Oh, I swapped out the solid state relay myself. Well, that's mains. Why you didn't without a license? We're denying your home claim. Simple as that. Okay, so this shows two things. This now shows two things. One, that they're not testing stuff properly. This is the second time. Their previous machines, they released their last generation of printer they released had a chamber heater where if you stuck your finger in, you could electrocute yourself. There was a little plastic grill to protect it, but it wasn't like, I can't remember exactly what it was. Please don't quote me exactly, but it wasn't grounded properly, or something wasn't right where you could touch like you could physically, if you reached into the printer, touch something with your finger that would electrocute you. Simple as that. I think Nathan Builds Robots brought that one up. But now they've released a second product. So that's 2 in a row that have a major critical error. Maybe you should check your shit before you ship it. I'm sorry. I'm not, this isn't your first time screwing up. This is now, we're this far into this industry. You can't claim it's your first day. You guys have been around for long enough. You're cutting corners to try and rush products out. Quit doing it, because, well, now, because you did it to one person, you're getting this much flack because you screwed up and somebody mentioned it. If your business is this fragile, where maybe you should be taking the time to ensure you're not causing this situation, because this is all on you, Cheaty. Grant just brought it to light. He would have nothing to show if there was nothing to show, and you gave him something to show. So, oh, it was Vector 3D. Sorry, it was Vector 3D who brought up the last generation. It was like the X Plus or X Plus 3 or what, I don't even know. I had one of those machines. I gave it away. It didn't have a chamber heater though, or maybe it did. I can't remember. I gave it away. The critical error was not testing at 120. Yeah. So for those that don't know, as far as I'm aware, they basically are using a 220 volt component. But if I'm not mistaken, if it's a 220 component, should it not be having issues at 110? Because it's a lower voltage. It's basically a higher. It's designed for 220. It's running at 110, so it's actually experiencing a lower voltage, but higher amperage. Right? Again, I'm not an electrician. So here's the thing. If they sent me this machine and I didn't know it was having this issue and didn't know what to look for, Modbot, for those that don't know, Modbot put out a video too, because he did a whole review on it. He hadn't released the video out, and then this came out. So he went back, pulled the machine out and took it apart and looked at it and saw like the housing was starting to melt around it. So imagine if like I had gotten this machine to review. I do, like, you know, we do our unboxing, right? We do our little unboxing. I go, okay, here we go. We print some stuff. I put it on my shelf. It's like, okay, I'm gonna print some Voron parts for a bit. And my printer does nothing but print nonstop for a week. And while I'm gone one day, that plastic enclosure at 200C starts to melt, and then it catches fire, and then my house burns down. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I will not be reviewing Cheaty products anytime soon. So yeah, that's what you gotta have to worry about. That's what you got to worry about. Hey, it's still printing. So that's why I'm really against. I've seen. I'm not going to name names, but I've seen reviewers. I've seen a reviewer criticize comments of people bringing up issues where unfinished printers, essentially, basically going, "Oh, this printer has an issue," like blah blah blah. And the reviewer, I'm not going to say a name, the person literally left a comment saying, "Where's your maker spirit? You can fix it yourself." we need to quash that in our community. I'm sorry. If I was a car reviewer and a company sent me a car and it's like, well, the car runs great, but every 1,000 kilometers you have to rebuild the transmission. But you know how to work on a car, so rebuild it. It's fine. Or just swap out the tires. The car comes really good, but the tires from the factory are shit. You got to throw them out and replace them the moment you buy the car. Nobody would accept stuff like that. Nobody would accept if the next MacBook, okay, let's be honest, Mac people accept anything that comes out of Apple. But imagine if the next MacBook came out and it's like, yeah, it's great, but what you have to do is you have to replace the screen the moment it comes out because the screen's shit. Or the A key doesn't work. Nobody would let that. But a 3D printer, oh yeah, you know, you don't just rip into it, replace the solid state relay, reflash the firmware, and then you have an okay machine. And we're just like, yeah, I'm a maker, yay, I accept that. And then the company goes, wow, look at these idiots. They'll just buy anything. We could just ship them shit and garbage and subpar components with no QC testing because they'll do it themselves. I hope you understand the position I'm trying to put across here. I'm not trying to slander companies. I'm not trying to, you know, I'm on my high horse here looking down because I know how to build a printer. I build Vorons, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I just want companies to put out products that work, that people can trust and not have to fix themselves. I'm sorry. SV08. Yeah, exactly. The SV08. The Temu Voron. Apparently it's a bit better now. They've actually kind of, I don't know. I haven't followed up on it. But yeah, we really got to stop that whole mentality of it's okay that these companies are selling cheap shit because we can fix it ourselves. Because guess what? Not everyone can, and not everyone knows. And this SSR issue with the Cheaty is a perfect example. Because you have to know a failure state of something and then dive into the machine with the right equipment to diagnose it. And if you don't know, you just buy that machine, you take it out of the box, you put some filament in, and you start printing for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden the housing melts down and overheats, and boom, there's a fire. FL Sun. FL Sun is not on my list right now for printers. Yeah. They're coming out with an AMS, the VVD. I'm really hoping their AMS, I've seen pictures, I've seen the same promotion stuff. I don't have one. They haven't told me anything about it specifically. I'm really hoping it's just an AMS that's Clipper compatible. I remember when CNC Kitchen did the interview with the head of Bamboo, and he said on the interview that he would love to work with Voron or something. And then I replied to that going, hey, I'm on the Voron team. What can we do together? And then nothing. Remember that? Remember that? Because don't get me wrong. If Bamboo sold the AMS as a plug-in device that was Clipper compatible, that shit would sell like hot. I would be buying them. If Bamboo sold the AMS, the proper AMS, not the light one, the actual enclosed proper AMS. If they sold that thing and you could just plug it into any printer with Clipper and it would just work, you know, here's the config stuff, copy and paste, boom. Now every Clipper computer can run an AMS. That opens up a huge flipping market for them. And it's not hard to do. You can make an AMS talk with Clipper if you replace all the electronics. It's not voodoo. They don't have any super secret sauce in there. They just have a lockdown ecosystem that they don't let you do anything with. So now Bigtree Tech, hopefully that machine, I'm really hoping that is basically just an AMS that works with Clipper. Because all you need is just a filament runout sensor at the tool head. That's all you need. Which you really don't even need if the driver that's moving the filament from the AMS to the tool head has stall detection, because then it could detect when it actually hits the tool head. I mean, if 3D Chameleon could do it. But yeah, like, but the thing is, a lot of people buy Bamboos for the AMS. They don't want to lose people buying, because I guarantee you they would lose printer sales, because people would buy either cheaper printers than the Bamboo machines, or they would use them on, instead of, because I'll be honest, I've talked to a few manufacturers and whatnot. Since Bamboo came out, Voron kit sales have dropped off because there was a segment of the market for people who wanted a machine like a Voron. They just didn't care how they got one. And at the time, the only way to get a Voron was to build a Voron. If you wanted an enclosed, reliable QUADXY machine in this kind of form factor, your really only option was like a Voron. As far as like a big kit like that you can just reliably build, instead of like self-sourcing some random, 20 people have built this with no manual. When the bamboo came out, what basically happened is we lost that market segment of people that they didn't care how they got the machine, they just wanted the machine at the end of the day. Well, now you don't have to build a machine anymore. You can just buy it. We lost those people, which is fine, right? Voron isn't a company. We don't care about sales. We don't care. I love when people go, oh, Voron's dead because of this. It's like, we don't care. We don't sell anything. Wow, oh my God, less people in our Discord that we have to moderate. Woohoo. But anyways, we lost that. But I guarantee you there would be people that would go back to that way if they could get an AMS on like that. Because let's be honest, the DIY tool changers, the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder, the Trad Rack, whatnot, they have the same problem the Prusa MMU is. They're just complicated. They're nowhere near as user-friendly as the AMS system. They're just not. They're just not. You get the freaking spaghetti of buffers and all the Bowden tubes everywhere. That is a very clean package on the AMS. And it just works. You just plug 2 cables. You plug in power and data, and you plug in a Bowden tube, and off you go. Easy peasy. So yeah. So I didn't buy a Voron for something. No, but I'm saying, I know your segment exists, but there was a segment of the market that just wanted the machine and they didn't care how they got it. And for a while, the only way to get that kind of machine was to build it. But then competitors came, or alternatives came in the market that were just off-the-shelf versions of Voron, essentially. And now people just buy the machine because some people just didn't care how they got the machine. They just wanted the machine. And for a while, the only way to get that kind of machine was to build it. And as soon as the, well, just buy it, unbox it, and go option became available, they went to that, which is understandable. So. We'll say the IRCFA V2 with Fundamentalist is the best package so far. Yeah, if you build it. That's another thing too. You have to go through the whole process of building those. You can't just buy one. What about, well, that's what we're talking about, Bugo. I'm hoping the Big Tree Tech VVD is basically just an AMS that works with Clipper. Marlin support would be great too, don't get me wrong, or Duet support, but I'm assuming Clipper, because that just kind of seems to be the thing right now. The problem with Clipper, you limit yourself in market segment. Remember, the majority of printers are not running Clipper. A lot of people are still running that Merlin. So this is roughly around the point when it would start to fail. So anywhere between now and an hour from now is usually when it would fail. So we just gotta let it do its thing. When the box turtle, yep, I will be building a box turtle at some point. I don't know exactly when, but I will be building one at some point. But yeah, for those that don't know, this is the VVD. I don't know what it stands for. I really wish it was 5 colors instead of 4. The only reason the AMS is 4 is because it fits on top of the bamboo. But because of the bamboo AMS is 4, every other freaking clone of it is 4. Nobody, like, even like the Creality machines, the K1, the K2, they're bigger machines. But they're not making a bigger AMS. Give me a 5-unit one. 5 colors is so much nicer. I'm doing the HueForge stuff right now. 5 colors is so much nicer than 4. You have no idea. It's so much nicer. Because then you could do black and white, and then your 3 blended colors. Box turtle is 5. Box turtle is however many you build it. I've seen 3 units. I've seen 6 units. You can build it. You can build the box turtle is the same thing as the Trad Rack and the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder. You can build it as big as you want. The kits might only come in certain configurations because they're kits. But if you self-source, you can build it as big as you want. I'm sitting here watching the spool go, just making sure. 64 units. Do a video of hue forge on 4 colors on the bamboo. I mean, I don't need the hue. I could just do 4 colors on the XL and then 5 colors on the XL. Yeah. What's the biggest confirmed ERCFA build? I don't have the picture of it. I have seen a unit that was literally a filament cabinet. I don't know. Shoot. Somebody shared it on the Voron Discord. Let me see if I can find it. That's going to take a while to find. Somebody shared it on the Voron Discord in the, like, one of the show-off channels. Oh my god, we have so many bloody channels on this Discord. Voron Print Build Showcase. I think it was in Build Showcase. Oh, it's going to take me a while to find it. Let me see if I can find it. This was a while ago. There we go. Found it. This didn't take long. There you go. There you go. 21 gates. So 21 filaments. So this is when you just never want to bother changing filaments. This person I don't really think is doing multicolor. They just have everything loaded for one printer, so they just don't have to ever go to the printer to change filament. You just go, I want to print this in blue. So you don't have to go downstairs and swap out and reload and unload the filament. So, yeah. Not a Phoenix? No, it's not a Phoenix. There's no public Phoenixes yet. We're hoping Phoenix is soon. I can't say exactly when. We're hoping soon. It's the manual. I think Phoenix is waiting on the manual and then it'll be released. But I don't know for sure. Don't quote me on that. I haven't actually checked in a while. Hoping for end of year? Well, that would be soon, wouldn't it? I try to avoid going to anything specific on my stream because I'm not speaking in any... For those that don't know, while I am a member of the Voron team, I don't represent Voron or speak for Voron in any capacity on my own. So when I'm doing my streams and whatnot, I mean, half the time I just say stuff because it's fun to watch you guys think I actually leaked info, right? Like, what replacement was I talking about? Was there even a replacement? Did I just say that to mess with you? Who said what? I didn't say anything. I don't know what you're talking about. So, a company did reach out and want to send me a 600, a Voron 600. My question was, what is a Voron 600? And I'm waiting to hear a reply, but it's from a company I don't think I'll be working with, so we'll see. My Discord DMs. Let me see. Let me see my Discord DMs. Message request to send me. Okay. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to single you out. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say it was the person that just told me to check DMs, if they were involved or not. But put it this way, I've just had multiple people DM me stuff going, I can't tell you this, but I'm telling you this about something. So, I mean, I kind of know now. But it is hilarious that I just had multiple people go, hey, about that thing that's not public, I'm going to tell you stuff about it. So what you should do is you should all tell me all your info so I can collaborate and find out who is the leaker. But yes, thank you for sharing me that info. I promise not to, I will not disseminate the information. Because it's funny, because I think I've learned everything now from like the 4 people or 5 people or 8 people or 20 people or 2 people. I don't even know how many people that have sent me little pieces of info. So I can now put it all together. And yes, I did actually hear about this a while ago at one of the events talking to the Big Tree Tech people. So I did know this was coming. I just didn't know in what capacity it was coming. So much for the secret. There's only been a few like full-on printer stuff that I won't say now. Does it even matter anymore? I don't even think. There's only been a few things that like people have come to me over the years where it's like, you can't tell anyone this, and it's like, okay, and I kept it quiet, and then eventually it got public or didn't go public. There's only been a few like really super secret stuff that I've learned over the year, and I haven't leaked anything. Kept it all quiet. Kind of like, for those that don't know, you know how Bamboos, you can update the firmware with an SD card now? They finally gave you that option. What if I told you you've always been able to do it? They just hid that feature. Oh, the Revo hiding. Okay, to be fair, the Revo hiding was funny because for like half the time that sign was up, there wasn't even a Revo in it. I was swapping back and forth, so. The previous Phoenix, I have no idea what happened with the previous Phoenix. I can't remember what happened with the winner, because for those that don't know what happened with the Phoenix that we auctioned off at Smurf, it was auctioned off prematurely, if I remember correctly. It wasn't supposed to be auctioned off to the end of the event, but ended up getting auctioned off on the Saturday during the auction, and somebody who had agreed to buy it for I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to go into it. All the money did go to charity, and it was all good and whatever in the end, but I don't know exactly what ended up happening with it. So, but there was something with it. So no PC probe. I have a PC probe in one of my machines. That's nice. I like it. Yeah, it's not my position to go into it, so I'm not going to go into it. Are we at 5 o'clock yet? We are at 5 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to give you 1 minute to enter for the spool of filament from Polymaker, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So if you have not entered yet, links in description. Do it now. Hurry up. You got like 1 minute. I've got 308 people entered. 309. But I don't have 309 likes on the video. So like, I'm not saying if you don't like the smash button on the video, it doesn't not increase your potential odds of winning or not winning. But now that I've mentioned it, maybe, are you really going to risk it? Are you really going to risk it? Okay, let's do this giveaway. Marbles. Close, close, close. Names. Okay, delete. Okay. So if you did not enter, you will have another chance tomorrow. I don't know what we're doing on the stream tomorrow, but you'll have another chance tomorrow. File save. Okay. And I gotta figure out, I think we're just gonna go out for dinner because I gotta run. We gotta do a run later today. So names, clear, open. How many people do we got today anyways? Names, 329. Wait, is that right? Yep, 329 people. Finish. Wait, is that right? 329. Yep, okay. Let's do hard landing. Why? I don't know. 329. Play. How's the print going? Print is going printingly. So far, it hasn't failed. And it's in the window of when it would fail, if it would fail. Okay, so how this works, if you win, you get a spool of filament from Polymaker. Sometimes it's closest to the middle, sometimes it's first across the finish line, but if you win, you get a spool of filament from Polymaker. However, if I pick your name and you win, you get 2 spools of filament. So good luck to this person right here. This person, Mike G. Mike G, if you win, you get 2 spools of filament from Polymaker. If anyone else wins, you get 1. Go! So you got to win and you got to win. Remember, exclamation mark zoom zoom makes you go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. And if you like the smash button of the video, it greases up your ball to make it go faster. Ooh, fiery. Well, Fiery, you're in the lead now. So now this is, I can't even catch up. I'm going as fast as I can. I can't catch up. This is your game to, oh, I was going to say this is your game to lose. And, well, you lost. Oh, ZW. ZW, wow, you yeeted your way in there. Okay, now it's your game to lose. You're losing a lot of your momentum there, though. Oh, this is going to be close. Okay. What do we got? Oh, it's going to be close. Gunther with the steal. Gunther, you sniped that. Gunther sniped that. Gunther Jr. Who said it clog? It didn't clog. Congratulations, Gunther. You have won yourself a spool of filament from Polymaker. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from Polymaker. I'm going to find you a chat here. Gunther Jr. Good choice of breakfast too. Okay. Okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, cool. So I'm going to call it there. Also, I just realized the screen. Hopefully, yeah, you didn't see anything. So we're going to call it there. Yeah, I think that's it. So shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. Links for all of them and more. Video description. Check them out. Helps the channel. Doesn't cost you anything extra. Some of them, like the Gamer Subs one. Go buy some Gamer Subs. Code Canuck, save 10% off your order too. And also for those that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. We're gonna call it there. I'm hoping this finishes and it works correctly. I'm really hoping it was something as simple as just the motor or the fan. I won't know which one it was. I don't even know if this actually fixed the issue because it could still fail. Because the problem is with the way this was failing, it works great until it doesn't. So I don't know. So if the print finishes, I'll let you know. If it fails, I'll let you know. But yeah, we'll call it there. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I don't know what we're doing on stream tomorrow night. But yeah, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Wow, English. I speak English occasionally. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.